Welcome to the Geotactical Solutions training video covering the GeoJot Plus attribute editor. Every photo we take has information embedded in the photo that we refer to as metadata. Whether we are using a simple point-and-shoot camera, our smartphone, or an extremely capable digital SLR, specifics about the conditions, settings, camera make and model, and GPS location are stored in the photo file's EXIF, which stands for Exchangeable Image File Format. EXIF is a standard that specifies the formats for images, sound, and ancillary tags used by digital cameras. In this video, we'll show how to view and edit the metadata contained in your photo using GeoJot Plus. So let's begin. By starting off at the Attribute Editor tab, you'll see that I've already imported a number of photos. If I select one of those photos, we'll then see the data that's contained within that particular photo. Let me collapse this to show the categories. Here we have photo, GPS, memos, and camera. Let's look at those a little closely. So in photo, we have the ability to edit some of the values we have in the attributes, like title, subject, and comment. But we also see we have a date timestamp and also the name of the photo here. So if I want to change the title of all of our photos, I can go ahead and select all the photos here. I'll come in and let's say we rename this to Patrol Demo. Now if I want to select an individual photo and change its value, let's go ahead and select the first one here. Let's go ahead and just simply say House. Now that photo value and that attribute value is changed for that photo only, but if I select another photo, you'll see that only the Patrol Demo stuck with each one of them. Down to the GPS category here, you see that this photo happens to have not only the location of the photo itself, along with the photo direction that we were looking when we took that photo, but this one also used a laser rangefinder to capture the distance. So with that distance and the camera's position, we were able to calculate the object location in the photo. In that case, it was the house. Moving down the line here, you'll see some more valuable information, number of satellites, the type of fix that we had when we took the photo, as well as the DOP, or the dilution of precision. Here we're looking at a 0.77 DOP, which is considered ideal. Anything less than a 1 is ideal and seen as the highest possible precision for that instrument at any time. Anything between a 1 and a 2 is considered excellent, and 3 to 5 is considered very good. So when you do see that value, knowing that you have something less than 1, you know you are in the ideal situation there. It also has a date timestamp and the map datum. Moving into memos, these photos were captured with the G700 SEM tactical camera, and where we loaded an attribute list into the camera so that every time we took a photo, these memos, these 5 memos here, were collected every time we pressed that shutter button. So if I wanted to change any one of these, particularly in this one here, I could come in to the drop down, for instance, and let's say that this photo, I passed the camera off to one of my teammates here, and let's say I'm Sergeant Smith, but Corporal Johnson took this photo. I could go in and change that at this point. We can also add in extra memos as well as values at this point. Moving down to the camera category, this has specifics about the camera and the photo at the time of capture. Let's expand those again. So a couple of things here. I'm going to go and import a new photo, one that does not have any GPS related information to it. So at the top here, you'll see that new photo has a red X on our globe, meaning it does not have any GPS information. And sure enough, under the GPS category, we see we don't have any information there. So if we're not worried about trying to geolocate a whole batch of photos, and we just want to do 1 or 2 at a time, then we have another option to do here. We can go to our Map tab. And here, we'll see all of our current photos. And here's the one we were working with the house. If I want to geolocate this photo, I can come in and add new location. I select the photo first, and I add new location. It then brings my red X. Okay, and I think that photo is somewhere in that location there. So I click on it and I drop it down. Well, let's zoom in and view it now. So here's our new location, and if we go back into our attribute editor, we'll see that now we have some location information there. But we don't have any photo direction, for instance, or any offset distance. So let's go back in and modify further. So let's go ahead and we select our photo, and now let's allow edit on that photo. So here, let's say that I want to move this back a little bit onto the T box here, and then also I want to change the heading because I was looking at the center of the green, which results in about a 287 degree heading. Now once I'm satisfied, I'll go ahead and deselect the allow edit, and now you'll see we have an arrow on that icon as well. So let's go back into the attribute editor and let's see what's changed. So now we have not only our location, but also we have our photo direction. Now let's say that I also knew that that was 320 meters away. So if I go ahead and add that in, you'll see that GeoJot will automatically calculate the offset location. So now the offset location at 320 meters looking in 287 degrees ends up being the center of our green. A couple more tools here in the map. We can zoom in and zoom out like any other map. We can also zoom to extent so we can see all of our photos on the map at once. And we can also zoom to a selected area, which right now we have our photo selected. So let's go back to the extents. We can also show a mini map in the corner so we can get our bearings of where we're located in the world here. And we can change that between hybrid and road map. And on the main map, we've got three choices: road, aerial, or a combination of the road and aerial. We can also bring up a search bar at the bottom. So this happens to be Encinitas Ranch Golf Course, but if I didn't know that, I could go ahead and enter that in the bottom here and do a search for it. So here I know this is the area I'm interested in, and sure enough, there's a pin dropped at Encinitas Ranch Golf Course with the address and the phone number. Go ahead and clear that. Let's go back to our extents. We can also show thumbnails instead of the arrow icons and dot icons. And we can change the size of those as well for easy viewing. And deselecting that goes back to our icons. Again, on any one of our existing photos, if we want to change it, we simply come in and allow edit. We can move it. We can change the heading it's looking in. And then we deselect the allow edit. Now if I made a mistake, and now I say no, I wasn't standing there, or it's in the wrong direction, I just need to restart and start from scratch, I can come up to the reset data and it'll send that back to its original location. Let's say we were operating from an aircraft and we were looking out the side window taking photographs of an area down below. If we're using a handheld GPS that we're going to associate with our photos and it's recording the direction of travel as straight ahead, let's just call it north, and let's say we wanted all of our photos directions to be oriented 90 degrees from that, we go ahead and put that adjustment amount in here for all of our photos. We would click OK, and then all the headings would be adjusted 90 degrees. We can also add offset locations for a batch of photos by using the calculate offset locations, which is going to use the photo direction and the offset distance within the photos to calculate that. Or we can go ahead and select different values in our data and select that way. We can also load our attribute lists that we may create and saved in the past to bring those in, and then those would come in to our memo section here. And that will conclude our training video for today.